Hi there, I'm Emoji Man, and welcome to my second video. Okay, first of all, we have decided to change the name of the channel to the Fussy Eaters Diet. Turns out eating for babies, when people search for it, brings up a lot of videos of babies eating. So yeah, we're now called the Fussy Eaters Diet. And if you haven't watched the first video, that's what I am. I'm a fussy eater. I don't like any kind of vegetables, so I'll be showing you my journey as I go to Weight Watchers, and I'll be giving you some tips and tricks on some recipes. So I went back to Weight Watchers this week to get an official weigh, and it turns out that I overestimated slightly. I'm actually 22.7, still pretty big, but there's lots of room there for loss. The first thing I want to show you here is a little tip. I actually got this as a free gift when I did my first Ocado order, and it's just a little meal planner. And what it does is you can just put what you're having every day this week and stick to it. Just helps keep you on track, to be honest. It helps me when I come in from work, if I'm tired and I know exactly what I'm going to have, I know exactly what I'm going to make. If you're the kind of person that likes to do an impromptu meal, then by all means, you know, it doesn't have to be law, but it's a good idea to help keep you on track anyway. So what I'm going to be doing now is showing you the kind of things I've been eating this week. Just like last week, the recipe is going to be coming up right at the end of the video, but I'll show you the ingredients now. This was the first thing that I had this week. This is a really simple and easy to make meal. All it is turkey burger and chips, homemade. Okay, the first thing we need is the turkey burgers, which are from Asda. They're salt and pepper flavoured. You can make your own if you want. And with those, I used bagel thins. Now the bagel thins come in at about 4 points, so you can use sandwich thins if you want. We're making our own chips here. I'm not very good at peeling potatoes, so I prefer using these pre-peeled ones from Asda. And you want about 200 grams of those. Also, we're using low-fat cheese. You can use the Weight Watchers one, which will save you a point on this recipe. And lastly, but not leastly, just some sauce. Any sauce that you can have. Barbecue I'm using on this, but you can use ketchup or anything. Now, what you want to do with the potatoes is cut them into chip shapes, like so. Now, you'll see a million different ways on the internet to cook chips. This is the way I like to do it. Obviously, we cut the potatoes first, and then I like to boil them for about 10 minutes. After you've drained them, you want to get about a tablespoon of garlic and about a tablespoon of paprika. You want to cover the chips in fry light. Probably about 10 sprays is enough. And just like I'm doing here, and you just want to coat it with the seasoning. Make sure you get a good even coating of it. So the garlic's going on there. We've got the paprika. Just give it a good old shake. Make sure everything's coated, and then you want to roast it for about 30 minutes. I mean, I use it in the active fry, but you can roast it too. Cook your burgers due to the manufacturer's instructions, or until it's about 85 degrees in the middle. And look at the finished article. Look how golden the chips look. This comes in about 15 points, but that's too high for you. There are ways you can shave off. Like I said, you can use Weight Watchers cheese, or you can use a sandwich thin instead of a bagel thin. Next up, we've got a super easy recipe to make. It's a cool twist on the standard omelette. It's a cheeseburger omelette. Now, what you're going to want here is eggs, which we know on Weight Watchers are free. We're going to want burgers, which we've already used. If you want, you could use the chicken burgers that Heck provides, which are pretty low too. We need some light cheese. Again, you can use Weight Watchers cheese here, or you can, and we want some ketchup for that authentic burger taste. Now, you want to cook your burgers until about 5 minutes before they're actually ready. You want to cut them up into small little chunks, like I'll show you now. And you just want to put them in your hot frying pan and give them a bit of a stir about for about a minute or so. After about a minute, you want to apply your egg mixture, which you can season with pepper and salt. So just give them a stir about, don't let them overcook. And then you want to put your beaten egg mixture on top. You want to put the lid on after that and leave it for about 2 minutes, or until it's slightly runny on the top. And then that's the point when you want to add your cheese. You want to reapply your lid for about a minute after that. Now when that's ready, all you want to do is you just want to flip it over. The cool thing about omelettes is that when you flip it over, the heat from inside the omelette will actually cook the remaining egg, which is really, really good. Now you want to serve it on your plate, drizzle it with your sauce, and look how nice it looks. The whole meal comes in about 11 points, which is really low. Now you can add some sandwich thins to this, you could add some Danish bread to this to beef it up a little bit if you think it's too low, and if it's too high then you can always use the Weight Watchers cheese, which is going to save you about 2 points there. This last recipe I'm going to show you is the hardest to make, but it's probably the tastiest. Now this is something you could find in a pub or in a restaurant, maybe somewhere like TGI Fridays. It's crispy barbecue chicken strips and chips. We're going to use 6 chicken mini fillets, which you would find at any supermarket. We're going to use fat-free natural yogurt to coat the chicken strips. A lot of people use egg, but we're going to use chicken strips because it just makes it a little bit more creamy when you're cooking them. And we're going to use 30 grams of breadcrumbs. We're going to mix in some Parmigiano Reggiano in with that. We've got chips that we're going to make ourselves with the potatoes, as shown early on in the video. We're just going to put some paprika in as well. The last ingredient on here is barbecue sauce. We're going to take half of that. We're going to mix it in with the yogurt. So when we coat the chicken, just like this, it's going to give it a little bit of flavour in. You just want to stick your chicken breasts in there, cover it, and leave it to marinate for a couple of hours. This is your breadcrumb mix. It's mixed in with paprika and cheese, so it's really tasty. And this is how we're going to coat them. I'm just going to take it out of the bowl, roll it around, and put it straight in your pan. Now you can either put them in the Actifry, as I'm doing here, put them straight in the Actifry pan, or if you like, you can roast them in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Make sure that the temperature is about 80 degrees in the middle though, before you eat them. We're just making our chips exactly the same way as we did before, earlier on in the video. With the remaining barbecue sauce, you just want to drizzle that over the top, so it gives it a nice little bit of flavour. Now because we used yogurt instead of egg, that chicken's going to be really moist and nice. This whole meal is going to come in at about 15 points. Now there's not many ways to shave points off this one, but if you're interested in having something like a takeaway or something and you don't want to use loads of points, use this as a fake away idea instead. Okay, so that's all I've got time for this week. Next week I'll be hitting you with some more recipes. I'll be going to my first official weigh and seeing how much I lose. And if you found anything useful in this video, hit the big like button or the subscribe down below. See ya!